Boom, boom.
Kyle Piper coming at you. It is Saturday afternoon. Hope everybody's having a wonderful weekend so far. Today's video is going to be the first in the Pufffin Aromatic series that I'm doing. I had been previously doing Pufffin Burley. I decided to add the Aromatic and Latakia reviews in as well. And today is going to be an Aromatic that I'm reviewing, and this is going to be McClelland 110 Just Plain Nut. Now this blend is actually classified as a Virginia Burley, so a Weber. However, I'm calling BS on this one. To me, this is definitely very much an aromatic. And I suppose the reason that they don't classify it as an aromatic is because there's not a topping added to this. So it is made up of Virginia ribbon and cake cut Burley Cavendish. And I'm assuming that when they are making the Burley Cavendish during the steaming process, that this tobacco is very heavily cased, which I guess technically you would not classify this as an aromatic, but when smoking it, it has the effect of smoking an aromatic. So this is also classified as a broken flake, but it is a very broken flake. As most broken flakes, you know, you still have to do some rubbing out to get them all the way broken down. This one here is actually all the way broken down for you, so there's no additional work needed for that. I'll go ahead and show you what this looks like now. So you can see some nice, beautiful red color there. Mostly red Virginia and the Cavendish Burley. However, you can see some lighter ribbons in there, and that is going to be the bright Virginia that is also added on into this. And I'm sure most of you are familiar with McClelland. If you're not, they're an American tobacco blender, been around since 1977, and in my opinion make some of the best Virginia tobacco out there that is to be smoked. If you've never tried a McClelland Virginia, I definitely recommend that you at some point go ahead and do so. So let's go ahead and get to the review. We'll go ahead and do the jar note. So the first thing you get right away is the nut smell. This is very, you know, it's cased with a nutty flavor, and it's almost to the extent of if you've ever been next to a roasted peanut stand, a cart or whatever, where somebody's roasting fresh peanuts. That's definitely the biggest smell that I get from this. Now I also get definite sweetness and maybe a little bit of a cocoa nut or cocoa note, and then definitely some hazelnut smell in there as well. For the moisture level on this, it comes on the moisture side. It can be smoked right out of the bag or the jar. I like to give mine about 10 minutes or so a dry time, and I do prefer my tobaccos on the drier side, but I would probably have no problem smoking this right out of the tin as well. Smoking this out of my Missouri Meerschaum Eaton. This one I definitely do prefer out of a cob, as I do with most Virginias and aromatics. This lights up very easily. The last bowl I smoked it from the char light. I didn't need a second light all the way down to the bottom of the bowl without any relights whatsoever. We'll see on this one. This does give you a high output of smoke as well, as you can see. You could smoke this quite aggressively, I guess, somewhat aggressively without any tongue bite. But I do find myself smoking this a little bit on the slower side. I think if you did end up smoking it too aggressively, you would probably end up with a little bit of tongue bite on this one. So during the initial light, what you get hit with initially is peanuts, roasted peanuts, a little bit of molasses, and a slight tint of cocoa. Once you get to about the quarter of, I'm sorry, not roasted peanuts, but just regular peanuts, dry roasted peanuts that you would get out of a jar. Once you hit about the quarter way through the bowl, that casing starts to diminish a little bit. However, it does stay there right to the very end. The nut flavor at that point will change from peanuts out of a jar to fresh roasted peanuts and maybe pecans, hazelnuts. The cocoa flavor about the halfway through the bowl goes away, and then molasses flavor stays pretty much right to the end. But right around the third to halfway mark is really when you start to pick up on the Virginias. What I get is not so much the grassy hay-like flavor, but more so I guess the citrus. So it's very, very citrusy, like a bright Virginia taste, more so than red Virginia, which is surprising because it appears to me that there is more red Virginia than there is bright Virginia in there. Like I said, that nut flavor will carry right through until the end of the bowl for you. And then you can pick up on the burley a little bit. It does add probably a little bit more nuttiness, which is hard to pick out because this is already so nutty to begin with from the casing. But it definitely adds some earthiness to the blend as well. Because of the nuttiness in this, I've come up with a pretty good idea. I'm going to go ahead and try to make up my own mix, and I've just ordered some stuff up, so stay tuned for that, to make an aromatic blend that tastes similar to a Reese's peanut butter cup. So definitely looking forward to experimenting with that. But overall, this is a very, very nice blend. It's not over the top aromatic. It doesn't get goopy. You definitely can taste the tobacco. Not right away, but once you get through about a quarter of the way down the bowl, really start to pick up on the Virginias. And the burley is more of a background player. But really just a nice, pleasant overall smoke. I got really nothing bad to say about this tobacco. Is it my favorite aromatic? No. Am I gonna finish the ounce that I bought? Definitely. Will I order some more in the future? Maybe. I mean, I have ordered some, but it's for a blend I'm making myself. But this might be one that I visit again somewhere along the road. But there are so many more aromatics out there that I would prefer to this one, and I don't smoke a whole lot of aromatics. So, but this is you know, a nice change of pace if you're looking for a lighter aromatic and you like nutty tobaccos. This is definitely by far the nuttiest one that I've ever tried. And so for my 5-star rating for McClelland 110 Just Plain Nut, it's going to get 3 out of 5 stars, which is right around the middle, somewhere in the middle, a little bit higher than the middle. Definitely one, if you haven't tried it, that's worth giving it a try, in my opinion. And I think this would probably make a good hot weather day smoke as well. I wouldn't mind smoking this outside if I had to as well. So once again, 3 out of 5 stars for McClelland 110 Just Plain Nut. As always, YouTube, keep on piping.